This has been Benita.
I don't think so. I don't know.
Who's been to our house?
The woman is on there. Sure.
Hi there, welcome to our Public Art Commission meeting. We've got a few more folks coming on. And yes, I am Benita, and I think I see everybody coming in. Okay, if you have any trouble, let me know. I think I've got everybody open for conversation. Got a few more commissioners coming on here. Yes, Alice, here, hold on.
Hey, Vanita, can you let me in?
You're in, you okay?
See it for it.
I don't see everybody. I only see I don't see like who was in the meeting or anybody else's faces.
I don't see faces either. I'm just seeing names for folks. So let me double check here to make sure I've got coming in the correct way. Hold on. Apologize for
Recording
that,
in
but
progress.
everybody should be available here shortly. Hi there. Thanks for being so patient.
I wish I could say I never make any more Zoom errors. I cannot say that 3 years, 4 years in. How many years has it been?
Yes. It seems like it changes every day, something different.
I've noticed.
Okay, Robin and John. Okay.
Larry, this is Nan. Are you having trouble with your screen?
Yes, I don't see anything at the moment.
What,
to Ann Arbor Public Art Commission convention meeting. And every 1 or 2 months, we're here on Zoom, and welcome aboard for attendees to come over to provide your insights and your new ideas and to give us more suggestions. And my name is Fang. I am the current president for AAPAC, and my associate Jamal probably is also somewhere doing other important public art related projects now. And but anyhow, let's start. And Vanita has suggested we should look all over the agenda. Oh, Jamal is there. Hello, Jamal. So today we call the meeting to order at 7:05 on March the 6th, 2024. And first we will do the roll call. And this is Fang Zhang. I'm based in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Present at Knox Church now. And Marietta. Marianetta, are you able to speak now? Okay, I'll go for Sophie Grillet. You are muted, please. Yes.
Sophie Grier here in Ann Arbor.
Mm-hmm. And Peggy Leonard.
Peggy Leonard, here in
Yes.
Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Oh, yeah. And Mary Cephos.
Everybody, I'm here present in Grass Lake.
Oh, great. Jamal Bufford.
Jamal Bufford, present, Ypsilanti, Michigan.
Okay. Cynthia Harrison.
Present in Ann Arbor.
Excellent. And we have, oh my, sorry. Allison
Hi,
Neal.
everybody. Allison Neal, present Ann Arbor.
Okay. Do I have any others? No. And the next thing we'll look, do you have, oh, sorry, for all the commissioners, have you ever previewed the agenda? Do we have approval for our upcoming agenda? Can we
So moved.
give you an emoji?
I move. to approve.
Yay. Okay. And all of us, right? Okay. Okay. I still need to, Marinetta Potter. Can you also speak? I don't know why she couldn't hear me. Okay. All right. And we have approved of the minutes and on the agenda, and we will move forward.
You do a first, a second, then all in favor, and then any discussion for each motion.
First and second.
A first and a second, all in favor, any
Oh.
discussion.
Okay. And first and second.
So I said yes, and then someone else needs to say yes, and then we all vote, and then we have a discussion in case anyone wants to add anything. It seems backwards, but that's just the way it works.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm
Okay.
happy to second.
Thank you.
Sure. So all in favor? We'll move on. Thank you. Yes. All right. And we have following some old business to, yeah. Oh, we do have some public comments coming on the agenda. And do we have, is anyone present here? Will give us some report on the old business?
It looks like from the agenda I'm looking at, it's approval of agenda and then public comment, and then Nancy's first under the public comment.
Yeah, so, yeah, okay, let me.
Old
go-
business is after the approval of minutes, down a little bit
Yes,
further.
yes, sorry, this is the public comment. Yes, I was
Yep.
looking the next, okay.
No
The
worries.
public comment, is Nancy? Nancy here?
I am here.
Okay, great.
I'm here.
Nancy, please go for it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm Nancy Margolis. I'm the Executive Director of Embracing Our Differences, the art and education program all about diversity, promoting diversity. We were thrilled to receive the Golden Paintbrush Award from you all, and I wanted to say thank you very much. And I wanted to thank you also for this. I think I can lift it. Can you see this wonderful tile that was presented to us as well? For receiving the Golden Paintbrush Award. So
Wow.
we'll figure out where we're going to put it. We will have a whole new exhibit up in Gallup Park and Riverside Park, hopefully May 1st. And I would love to take all of you on a tour. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nancy. It's a wonderful report. And next we will have Nan Plummer. Are you there?
I'm here.
Thank you, Nan.
Thank you, Fang. I'm with the Tree Line Conservancy. The tree line, I think it says Tree Town Conservancy, which I like, but it's not what we're actually called. And we're called the Tree Line Conservancy. And I talked to you just about exactly a year ago about an art project that we're undertaking at our test trail at 415 West Washington, which is just across the street from the Y and goes all the way through to Liberty Street. And I want to recognize two very important partners in that project who are here tonight, Larry and Lucy Nissen. Hello, Larry and Lucy. Wave so everybody knows who you are. And I have a short PowerPoint just to bring you up to date and to get any suggestions and advice that you have. May I share my screen now?
Sure.
Okay, good.
Are you able? Yes.
Yes, there. Okay, can we see that okay?
Sure, yeah.
Now the miracle will be, can I advance it? So thank you very much for having me to talk to you a little bit. The tree line, for those of you who may not know, is a planned and in the planning stages urban trail that will go from Arbor Pond, Argus Pond at the Huron River all the way to the Stadium area through the heart of Ann Arbor. And it's been in the planning stages for a long time. It's hard to go through a 200-year-old city, but we're making good progress. And we've been using a city lot at 415 West Washington to test parts of our ideas and challenge ourselves to what we're going to need to encounter as we get the big bucks that it will need to build this trail. So now I'm working on pushing this forward. Hang on just a second. Okay. There we go.
Yeah.
So this is a view of the lot at 415 West Washington. That's its address. And this is taken from upstairs at the Y. And the test trail, if you can see my arrow here, goes where these cars are parked now. There's just a line of bumpers, concrete parking bumpers that we're using for the trail itself. This is a city-owned lot, and you may have heard some about it if you follow development matters in the press, in the city reports. The city owns it. The DDA uses it for parking. It's adjacent to the Watco Ann Arbor Railroad, which runs along here and comes across Washington Street on a trestle and then comes to street level at Liberty at the other end of this lot. The city is looking at it as a potential housing site, as it is with all the downtown parcels that it owns. It's a brownfield in need of remediation. It's been blighted for many, many years, decades. There have been lots of interesting ideas for what to do with it. It's in the historic district, which makes it a little more challenging. The one thing we know about it is that access is promised to the tree line and to the chimney swifts that live in this chimney. It's protected for them. So not much we know, but we're virtually certain that the tree line will go through there. It's not a lovely place. Even if you didn't know the soil was contaminated, it's clearly blighted, and it's got a lovely neighborhood around it, and it's really a sore thumb. This is the general route of the tree line, and that's where it goes now. Here's an artist's rendering of what that might look like from the air. Here's Washington Street. Yeah. Here's Liberty Street. who knows what's going to be on this lot, but something like this is certainly possible in the future. So we've been experimenting with beneficial plantings and just keeping the site cleaned up. We've put up signage about what the tree line is and what this site will mean for the tree line and what used to be there. This great team has come together to welcome people into the test trail with a work of art. It was Larry and Lucy's idea to do something artful at one end or another or both of this lot to let people know that it's there because it's hard to see in. And Larry got me in touch with WAP John, who goes by WAP at Grafactory. He's a graphic designer and fabricator of all kinds of ways to use words in our environment. And Bill Burgard, who's at the U of M stamp school. So we have been working on this idea for a while, and we have something we'd like to show you that we think is going to be a great way to welcome people into this trail. This is the site as it looked just before we put the trail in. This is Liberty Street, and this is taken from probably the sidewalk right across the street at the Taubman School of Architecture and Design Laboratory and Annex. So it's not much to look at. And even when you can see the trail and our signage on the street, you might not know what you're looking at. So Bill Burgard has come up with a really fascinating idea that meets the DDA's needs for people inside and outside the parking lot to be able to see in and out. So here's Bill's sketch over a bit of the fence that we were just looking at. For scale, here's a 10-foot section. So this would be about 30 feet along the sidewalk. And he's created this very lively drawing, and you'll have to read out our signs. Those would go away. This lively drawing that would be translated into 3 dimensions on the fence. And the way that WAP John proposes to do that is by digitizing this very image, all the relevant parts of the image, laser cutting it out of powder-coated aluminum, so it'd be very durable and very light, would be laser cut and the edges routed so that they would all be safe edges, would be mounted from the back of the fence so you wouldn't see the mountings. And here's one of the things I just love about it, is it would be removable. And we could put it back, we could put it somewhere else. Because whatever happens on this lot eventually, the fence won't survive, the parking lot probably won't survive. We don't know what might go there except the tree line, but we know the tree line is going to need public art on it. And so this work of art could persist and exist in other places after it has served its purpose to welcome people into this part of the test trail. Bill has told me that one of his inspirations for that drawing is the work of the sculptor Marshall Fredericks. And I'm trained as an art historian, and I'm trained to go look for sources. So I went looking, and you can see how Bill has translated into his drawing that sort of upward aspiration feeling, this love of the natural world, the inclusion of human beings in interesting postures. So I'll go back and you can kind of see where that influence is. But that was one of his inspirations.
It should be noted that Bill was the person who the water tower by the Reconnet building on Washtenaw, I think they had 500 people apply for designing it. And Bill was the person who was chosen to design the water tower. So it's his design right now that is on that water tower. He's extremely competent, and we're very fortunate to have him engaged.
Yes, he's clearly not afraid of challenging and unusual projects. So the next steps that I know of is to get a firm approval from the DDA. We've kept them in the loop all along, but we need them to look me in the eye and say, yes, you may do this. We'll need to create new signage that tells people about this gateway and tells people about the tree line, but we need to clean up this fence a little bit. We'll need to fabricate it, obviously, and install it, which actually won't take a very long time, I'm told. So that's what I have to show you, and I'm here to answer any questions and take your advice. What else in your experience and your realm of control do you suggest we need to do or should do? I would love to know that.
Yeah, let's all keep that in mind and further provide feedback to Nancy. And the next one will be Robin Suter for a report on the Eberweit mini roundabout discussion.
Right. Hello, I'm Robin.
Hi, Robin. Yes.
So I'm here to discuss the Eberweit mini roundabout that was just kind of finished up at the 5-way intersection of Eberweit, Madison, Mount Vernon, and Mount Pleasant. And I have some pictures that I can share here in a minute. But so I just kind of wanted to let you know that we're moving forward with this. It'll be a fully funded mural project, and Treetown Murals will be doing the mural. And we're hoping to involve the community, like the some Eberweit elementary students, and also people in the neighborhood that would be interested. And I've been in contact with Mary and about the talk of this project. And in the middle, there will be plantings that the neighborhood is coordinating to go along with the mural. And the Ann Arbor Art Center will also be promoting this project. And we're kind of hoping that maybe this would be like a pilot project to like spark more creativity and get more art in neighborhoods throughout the city. So we're just in the very beginning, and I can share my screen and show you what the roundabout is. Let's see if I can do this. So this is a close-up of it. And let's see if I can back up to show you let's see. Is it showing the other one?
Yep. We can see it further away now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are just some neat aerial photos to show you the space. And so it's not necessarily a sidewalk. It's just kind of in the middle to help with the traffic flow. So I think adding art would maybe make it even more noticeable and add some interest.
Yeah, we look forward. The neighborhood would appreciate on all the kinders that I have worked with, and for second graders, they would love that. When they were, taken to the school on the way out, they might want to look around. That was a nice add-on to the school community. And next, we will have Krista Skaida, and you will provide us some feedback and report. Yes, Sophie, please.
Could I just make a comment about the roundabout?
Sure.
I think it's important to have some art on it, not only for just because it would look more lovely because it's a bit plain right now, but also to make people notice it more, because it's very inviting for people to just drive straight over it, especially if there's a dusting of snow. So I think it would be, useful to make people more aware of it.
Yeah.
Where it is and what to do with it.
So, Robin, have you ever sent out an artist open call for that, whatever statue or sculpture or any like installation? Have you sent out an open call, or it's only in the preparatory stage now?
So I was talking with Mary in regards to having Treetown Murals is going
murals. Oh, okay.
To orchestrate the artwork that will go there.
Okay, our Mary.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, next, please.
Yeah. So
yes, Mary.
I have a question. Are we wanting to have discussion after each of these presentations, or are we coming back to that?
I think we can actually start going now, right? For Nan Plummer, do you think for her project, the Tree Town, maybe Mary has something to say also? For the
I'm just curious of the format of when you would like the commission's input on these different projects. Should we?
I think
circle
right now it's
back
better.
after
Yeah.
everybody's.
Yeah, we are not coming back. Right now it's the good moment.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, should we go back to Nan? Nan, you had some questions
Yeah,
for the
sure.
commission. You wanted some feedback. Okay. So could you just refresh, Nan?
Sure,
Yeah.
gladly.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the time to talk. I appreciate it.
Mhm.
The jurisdiction over this site is multi-layered. And before we put anything up, I want to make sure that we've made sure that everyone who has a stake in this is okay with what we're planning to do. And I haven't been through this process in Ann Arbor before, although I've been through it a lot in other places, and in fact used to direct such processes, but every place is different. So I want to make sure that I'm not missing anything, and that I get all the advice I can from you.
Sure. Yeah, I think Allison has something to say. Please go.
Yeah, I think you kind of touched on this. I was going to ask how the ownership works in that property and what the plan was for maintenance and ownership of the artwork. In general, when pieces have been placed onto city property, they are then donated to the city and they become city property. And then the city maintains them. But I don't know if that's the plan along here or not. There is an agreement and a process that is to make that happen.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. I think the tree line in general is a project that the Tree Line Conservancy is working on for the benefit of the city, and the whole thing will become the city's asset. Right now, while there's certain parts of it that we have that we do in common, it's really all on the Tree Line Conservancy. And so without really thinking it through, my assumption had been that this would be our thing and we can take it down and move it when the city or whoever operates that lot doesn't need it there anymore, doesn't want it there anymore. And that we would take responsibility for maintaining it in the interim. But if that's not allowed, then I'd love the direction to the paperwork for that kind of arrangement.
I've never had it be a temporary thing. I mean, we've had temporary installments where the ownership still was the city's and they could take it down whenever they wanted. So this would be a new situation. But I think you would just want to, talk that through potentially with Benita offline and city folks to figure all that out. And likely you've done this, but having a maintenance plan from Bill that he submits that says what would be need to go into maintaining the piece, how to treat the piece if it does get vandalized, etc. Those types of things we generally ask from artists when we take on pieces so that the city can plan for and budget for maintaining them accordingly.
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you, Allison, for providing that good advice.
Helpful.
And next we'll have Sophie. Yes, Peggy. Peggy, please go. Oh, you are muted.
Nan, I just want to thank you for coming and continuing the discussion about the tree line. It's, I think, a really exciting project. I know it's enormous, but it's going to be great. And I love the fact that the art could be removed. It's kind of temporary. And so as the tree line progresses and you want to move it to another spot or needs to be moved, I like that aspect. So the design is great. And thanks for keeping us updated.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. I do have one question back to you all. I mean, do you want it? Or would you rather we kept it? I mean, do you see an advantage for ownership being one way or the other? I mean, some of the places that this might go, in fact, that it probably will go, won't necessarily be owned by the city yet. It'll be a decade before the city owns the whole thing. to put it fairly optimistically. So on the other hand, we have all we can say grace over. I don't know that we need a work of art to take care of, but do you have a feeling about should we do this the kind of the old way, or should we try this new way? Do you have a feeling about that?
You mean new way in terms of you would own it?
Yeah.
And I would try for the new way, I think, just because I'm not sure if the city owns it, if it will stay where it's supposed to stay. I mean, it might get stuck somewhere and maybe that wouldn't be the best spot for it. I don't know. Allison, what do you think? You have more experience with art installations in the city.
I don't know what the city would say. I think it's more about how they feel about potentially having to maintain something that isn't theirs because it'll be on their property. So if something happened and then, God forbid, you guys go away and they need to remove it from the fence, or if they need to do maintenance to the fence and it needs to be moved or something, you know. So there's things
we need to write something down. We need to write something down.
And the legal department will probably want to be involved in some way in deciding how that happens. But I echo Peggy. I'm excited to see something going in there. I walk past that every day, and when last time you were here, I think we were talking about art would be great in that space. So I'm so glad to see that happening.
It's really happening.
Thank you, Lucy and Larry.
Yeah, put together a great team. So they at the city, I have folks that I work with on a regular basis about the tree line. Is there anyone else that you would say, oh, this is the person you need to talk to about that?
Well, Vanita.
Cynthia or Vanita would know, probably.
Vanita would know.
Cynthia, do you have a take on it since you're on city council?
Yes.
Yes.
I do not have a take on it right now. Vanita may, I can find out, but to give you an answer right now, just to give you one, no, I do not. I do not.
But it's obscure. You should feel bad about that. So Vanita, I will give you a call soon and we'll figure this out.
That'd be fine, Nan. I do some connections for you. I'll get some information when you're ready.
All right.
Great.
I have a question, Nan.
Yes.
If it's done, if another one is done on the Washington Street end of that section, will you have to start all over again? Or is there a way to get approvals that could cover both ends?
You know, I think that if my guess is, I'm sort of reading the Zoom room here, that more art is better. In the group opinion here, generally speaking, more art, more better. That if, and I'm hearing we're going to need to write an agreement, whichever way it goes. And we could certainly write that agreement and extend it to include any future second installation on this site, because it would be a very similar kind of project. I would be inclined to use the same creative team. So just for the consistency's sake.
Yeah.
Sophie?
Thank you all for the feedback and great advice. Next, please, Sophie.
I didn't realize when you were first presenting that it was a temporary thing. So I'm glad you clarified that. I'm just wondering how temporary. You're saying maybe 10 years, but you don't know. So in some ways it should be treated almost as permanent, although then you would have to think, what if anything would happen to the art at the end of it? But as far as the agreement would go, it seems to me that the best thing would be to you to write what you would like, and then the city, adjust it as necessary, rather than, and don't try and ask them because it's a new thing. So you've probably thought about it more than they have about how you would like it to be. And
no doubt.
You can accommodate more to your way of looking at it, which seems to make sense. And also I was thinking in terms of temporary, it might be possible just to have intentionally temporary art and have a rotation. So then people might go through, 1 year or the next year or 1 month or the next month and be interested to see what's changed.
Yes, that would be lovely. There are only 1.5 of us on the staff,
Mhm.
and I have about $110 million to raise. So this is, as Larry and I have often talked about, this is the fun part for me. I love my job, I really do. But as an old arts girl, this is really the sweet spot here. So that's a wonderful idea, and it will be really, really fun to come back and talk with you about art on the trail generally, because there will be other places, and I would like there to be an art plan. And I don't know about you, but I've been on trails before where unwanted works of public sculpture just kind of get stuck because, oh, they need art on that trail. Let's just put that there. And then you know what happens. So I would like art to be a living part, an active part of the entire tree line. And I think that's how the board has seen it from the very beginning. And a place or places that are just like you described, Sophie, places where people want to come on the trail to see what's new. And that continues to invite them in, I think will be one of its distinctives if we can get this done. And that's one of the reasons I'm so grateful to Larry and Lucy, because they understand about activating cities with art, and to do that from the very beginning, to have this opportunity to experiment with that is really a great gift.
Would the Ann Arbor Parks be a good partner for you, or are they already involved?
No, they are not involved, and we've agreed that we will not try to involve them. They have,
Okay.
they don't want any more to have to take care of. Now, that said,
Okay.
there have been a couple practical things that when we've needed help that only they can give us, they have been generous about that. But this is not going to be a park, and there will be no parks budget for it in our lifetimes. So that's why there is a tree line conservancy, honestly, is to raise the money to take care of this forever.
I have a general question, not
Yes.
just about the tree line. Does the Public Art Commission interact with the parks for art that might go in parks? Is that considered Public Art Commission business? Or is
So,
that a separate unit?
yeah, so the Ann Arbor Public Art Commission works its way through all of the CIP projects each year on an annual basis and makes recommendations for projects that could have enhancements or public art included in those projects, which includes parks projects. So like one of those on our list of recommendations is that the Gallup Bridge. And so they came and presented to us about artwork that they were going to have at one of the ends of the Gallup, and that some of the work that they're trying to do along the paths as well. So the only way that we interact is we make recommendations. That's all the commission's actually really allowed to do, is make recommendations. We don't have our own budget or anything like that. So we make recommendations about how CIP projects could be enhanced, and then city staff that is over those projects will hopefully move those forward, and often will come to us and say, hey, this is what we're thinking, this is the project we're doing. And we kind of do this kind of back and forth, similar to how we're talking to Nan about that project, and give recommendations about the call and things like that. And similar to like this roundabout project.
Yeah, they have reached out to the Ann Arbor Art Center regarding the bridge, and the Art Center is now working with them on possibilities.
Yeah, they have a
Great.
call. Yeah. Could the Public Art Commission help if Larry and I wanted to sponsor some art in parks, Ann Arbor parks? Could you guys help move that along?
Sounds like no parks have to do it.
Well,
We could if we wanted to donate through our endowment, but I'm not sure if that would be the most streamlined way of doing it, to be honest.
could you advise us perhaps on what the most streamlined way would be?
It probably depends on what area or what park you're looking at, but Vanita would know who the best contact at the parks would be if you have a specific place or location you're looking at activating.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
finding that you want to do this and the process is slow? Is that what you're finding?
We're sure.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, yeah. That is often a problem with many projects within the city. It just takes time, more time than we want. I don't know if we really have an answer for streamlining, but if you talk to Vanita, she could probably put you in touch with maybe some people that could help you. And come back and see us and we'll give you encouragement.
Okay.
I'm not
Larry,
sure to offer much else, but we'll give you support and encouragement.
yeah, Larry, I can touch base with you, but before the week is out, I'll collect some information for you and give you a phone call and possibly give you a staff contact who might be able to help you.
Okay.
I also just want to add, I want to thank both of you for coming tonight. You know, I've never met you. My name is Peggy Leonard. I've lived in Ann Arbor forever, but I've admired a lot of projects that you funded. And I've always wondered, who are these amazing people who keep money into art projects? And so it's fun to see you. So thank you.
Nice to meet
Yeah.
you. And to see
Thank
you,
you for all
Peggy.
you do for our city. You make it beautiful. And you have
Yeah.
more coming. So that's fun.
Trying, yeah.
Yep.
Great. Thank
Wow,
you.
thank you so
Good.
much. Yeah.
And we want to do a lot more.
Right. At some point, I don't know, maybe you will be very interested in giving us a little bit, you know, a slideshow about your raise the money, the sponsorship for all the other public project you have done for Ann Arbor. I didn't know much about that. If you could, I mean, in another side, you know, talk, whatever. Yeah, if you could give us some ideas, and that would be fun to learn about your, you know, contributions to making Ann Arbor a beautiful town.
Sure. And our idea is to be engaged with people like Nan and Robin who know how to get things done. I mean, that's what our experience is. If you work with high quality people who know how to get stuff done, stuff gets done.
And Nancy.
Oh, of course, Nancy's amazing. Nancy is the best, absolutely. Yeah, really what she's done is
And
remarkable.
Mary.
Mary's phenomenal too. We're doing the bridge in front of the Delana Center, and the design is that her husband's just done the absolute incredibly gorgeous design that all the residents of the Delana Center are going to be able to enjoy. So some of the
And everyone.
yeah, but I'm saying some of the more disenfranchised people in Ann Arbor are going to have the most beautiful art outside their door, and Mary's and Daniel are making that happen.
Thank you for your generosity.
Or
Great
Sophie
support.
and West Side Art Hop. Sophie
Yeah.
has been the guiding force in making
Sure.
West Side Art Hop happen, and really, if it wasn't for Sophie, it wouldn't be happening.
Yeah, there are so many pioneers in this small team. Thank you all.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for all the
Absolutely.
great contributions. Thank you. Thank you, Vanita, for bringing us all on board on the same boat. Thank you. So next can we also provide Robin some ideas if you have any?
I was going to say, you know, this is all because of Larry and Lucy that I'm helping with this. So yeah, any feedback would be much appreciated.
It's important to know, though, that Robin, the reason we talk to Robin is because Robin has been in charge of the ice cream social at Eberwhite for the past 2 or 3 years, which is an incredibly challenging, difficult job. And she has done just an outstanding job of making it happen. So that's why we talked with her, because we know she gets shit done. So we are just so appreciative to have her engaged with this.
Do you have a time frame, Robin, for your project? What you're looking at?
Well, I was talking to Mary earlier this week in regards to like hoping to move things along so that it would be possible by like early summer, thinking that when school is out, there's also like the spring West Side Art Hop that happens. Like, I don't know if we could tie that into it. But so just trying to hopefully move things along for a spring, summer timeline.
Robin, I took for granted that you were a city staff employee that was part of like roads, but clearly not. So I guess my follow-up question would be, have you connected with the city and gotten all those folks on board who like would need to approve that project?
So I did talk to Vanita earlier, well, I guess it was a couple weeks ago. And so it sounds like the city would be on board to help with coordinating the permits and stuff once we have a solid plan of what we exactly are doing.
And they're
And I
approving
will be
your
assisting in that
Permitting.
permitting and discovery process. Right now, I have the ear of lots of different departments in the city because of the underpass project. So it's kind of, the timing is perfect. We had to find out first whose right of way it was, and it's not MDOT, so thank God. So the city's been incredibly cooperative with getting through the engineering, the legal departments. And so I'm hoping we can just kind of piggyback on that enthusiasm, making this a neighborhood-wide project, paint by number kind of style with students, tying it into the art hop potentially. It's not a very large space, so creating a couple of community participatory days where we could have people sign up. And then the design itself, I'm looking at working with the 5th graders to come up with some concepts. So it would be our role with Tree Town Murals would be really to facilitate and usher it through, but that the project itself would be designed and implemented by the neighborhood, the students, and the community. And as most of you know, this has become one of our areas of expertise. And so we're very excited to help kind of usher this through.
I think this is great. I mean, we've had some stumbling blocks in the past as partners being able to paint streets, sidewalks, anything with art. So hopefully this will be the first step to making that possible and doing something more permanent at the lovely intersection of Liberty and Main or somewhere else too. This is
I
great.
agree.
Lots
Yeah.
of places where the tree
Around
line
murals.
really, and Washington Street is one of them.
Yes, Nan.
Because the tree line will come alongside the Y and cross Washington Street at grade, and asphalt art is a way to slow traffic, draw attention to the fact that this isn't just a regular old part of the road, and make it beautiful. And there are other places like Liberty and First, for example. Is that right? No. Yeah, Liberty and First. Madison and Maine, where the trail will cross.
So is
please.
is the artwork in that central area? Is that where it's going to be?
So there's a sidewalk that goes around.
Oh, okay.
So it'll be on the sidewalk.
Okay, thank you.
But it's an interesting, because there's not really a path to it. So it'll be, and there'll be some plantings in the middle too, hopefully that will draw attention to it also.
Great, thank you.
Excellent. So are we done with these first 3 conversations on these projects upcoming? And next we'll have Krista. I think we are waiting for Krista to inform us of her community wallpaper project.
Yeah, so I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to be sharing, but I had read on MLive a while ago that the Ann Arbor Arts Commission was considering making the Throne bathrooms that are coming to town one of their public art projects. And if they were, I was really hoping they would consider having me do the project. I'm the person that doesn't go somewhere unless I know what the bathroom situation will be. So I'm super excited about the Throne bathrooms coming into town, and I would love to make it a community project. I recently did a wallpaper in town here in Whitmore Lake, and I would love to implement that same method to do a different style wallpaper for the Throne bathrooms.
And can you tell us what that means, a wallpaper?
Yeah, I'll see. I've never done a share screen, so I'm gonna see if I can figure this out because I have a little picture. Let's see. Okay, can you guys see those?
Yeah, well, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the one that I did for the community center in town here. I collected Post-it note self-portrait drawings of people in town, heard their stories, connected with a lot of people. I set up at different places to get a really diverse group of people, and then I just redrew them digitally and then had it printed on wallpaper. So I would love to do something similar, but do something more fun and bright. So either something as simple as shapes or flowers, just have people draw a simple flower. I redraw it digitally, color it, and then however, I've seen some of the throne bathrooms decorated. So wherever they print, I'm assuming they just print a large panels. So yeah, I feel like it would be a fun way to bring attention to the throne project, and a way to kind of reduce the bathroom stigma. Like everyone needs these bathrooms, can just be fun.
Chris, I love the idea. So as I was mentioning earlier, we are advisory only pretty much. And so we have advised that we would love to see these temporary bathrooms be pretty and enhanced in some way. So they're not just porta potties all over town, basically. And so they are on our list of projects that could be enhanced. The city, whoever ends up whether staff person ends up taking on that project would be in charge of deciding if they are going to enhance them and then putting out that call for art and working with potentially you to make them pretty. But I think that's a great idea. I love that. It's really cool. And thank you for presenting it to us. I don't know, Vinita, who is in charge of that project at this point, if it's moving forward, if it's been assigned yet, but sending along those pictures or things could be fun to just spark the interest and get them thinking about it.
Yes, it's part of it is the DDA, and I've shared some information that Krista provided with them already. So they're just now getting together as a team to talk about the thrones. So I'll certainly circle back with you, Krista, and give you some information, and I can just give you a contact for now if you'd like until they start to have those meetings.
Yeah, that would be great.
Thank
Krista,
you.
I just had a quick question. When you say wallpaper, what is the actual material that's made out of? I'm assuming it's something pretty durable. Like a vinyl?
For the throne bathrooms or for the project I did in town?
The projects you did when you mentioned your wallpaper.
It's a
wallpaper paper or something.
Yeah, it's indoors, so it's a peel and stick wallpaper I designed for a wallpaper company. So they have high quality wallpaper, so it'd have to be something different for the throne bathrooms, but same design process.
Okay.
There are materials that are used for, when I was in Lexington, there was another arts organization that took on wrapping the great big electrical boxes that you see on the street. I'm sure you've seen some of those. And that's a vinyl product that, just as Krista said, is made for exactly that kind of application.
I wonder how durable it was.
Okay. Yeah, it's vinyl that's on our electric traffic boxes around town.
Yeah,
vinyl.
It's pretty durable.
We've been working with Deb Pollock on completing the power boxes, completing painting of the power boxes. It's been very slow going. Maybe with Laura being the permanent DDA head, that might help speed things along. So supposedly this year, there are going to be repairs on the old ones that were done before, as well as some new ones, but we don't have the specifics so far.
Great. Okay. Right. Thanks, Krista, for coming and meeting us.
Yeah, thank you. And next we'll have the approval of minutes. Do we all approve the minutes? Yeah, first, second, and all in favor. Thank you. And next we go down to old business.
Sophie, you're muted. We do first, second, all in favor, any opposed, and then
And
we have a
opposed, yeah.
discussion. And then we have a discussion, even though it seems weird that since we've all approved it, they have the discussion after. That's just the way the process
Yeah.
is. So you have to open the floor for a discussion where people could
Yes.
say, my name's spelled wrong in the minutes, or whatever they want to say.
Yeah, I was just going to say there's a small typo on the word pictures. That's all. But apart from that, looks fine.
Okay. So let's go down to old business. So it's a brand new thing. This time we have so many, presenters, and we have, many old things we haven't been catching up with. So the first on the old business is the 2023 annual planning discussion. Have we ever figured out the best timing to meet up? Not yet, right? For the doodle, whatever. We haven't been, successful, right, Mary? Are we planning to meet up for our upcoming annual report?
We attempted to.
Yeah, were we the largest possibility? I mean, the biggest that all of us will be available. Is that on March something? Are we?
We would have to do another poll because all those dates have passed.
I think Benita advised us that if we're going to do a planning meeting, it has to happen during a public meeting. So it could happen today if we were prepared to do that, or at our next public meeting.
Yeah, I don't think we'll have enough time, right?
That's right. She did say that, Allison.
Yeah.
So I move that we move it to our April meeting.
Okay. All right.
Prepared.
So, do you all agree? Move on to the next meeting? Okay.
Agreed.
We can hold that date. We can hold the date and put it on the calendar and announce it as an annual meeting. That way the agenda doesn't get quite so full with other items. And if everybody could share the areas and the items that we'll be discussing ahead of time, we can certainly add that to an agenda. So anything that you need there, let me know, and I can certainly get it to a special agenda for that.
Yeah.
Vanita, do you have a calendar in front of you? Can you give us the exact date so we can plan for that? Is it April? I don't have a calendar, sorry.
Next meeting is May 1st.
Okay, so we don't meet in April, so it's May 1st. Okay, perfect. That'll be our planning meeting.
Plan meeting, okay.
Everyone, while we're at this pause point, I'm going to say thank you.
Thank you,
Nancy.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Nancy.
your good ideas and advice and attention.
Thank you, Nancy. Mary, and
thank you so much.
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you all.
Lucy,
Yes.
Robin, Nancy,
Yay.
Krista. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for your work.
Wonderful. Okay.
You're welcome to stay. You're welcome to stay if you want.
Yes. Okay. Oh, suddenly I didn't know who these people. I thought they are all the attendees, or they want to learn more about our committee. Okay, so Sophie, you have something to say?
Yeah, I have a question, which is that I thought in the past we did have some kind of retreat where we could discuss boring, complicated things without using.
There are always public meetings though, and in the past we did them in person, but we were also meeting in person. And so they had to happen at the library. I think we often did it, and they were posted as public meetings so people could come and attend if they wanted. No one ever came, but they could. So it just has to be it has to be a public meeting because we're all there.
Yes.
And I think we did attempt to do a public meeting, but John Katarski was bowing out because of COVID. Are people willing to? I mean, I feel like we could get more work done if we were in person, honestly. I have a very hard time focusing on the meat of things during these Zoom meetings, personally. And
Vanita,
discussion to me and ideas flow easier in person. So that's my 2 cents.
Vanita, could our May meeting be in council chambers and also online, or I don't know?
I can find a location here in City Hall for sure. I just couldn't promise council chambers. But we've got some basement conference rooms that might be available.
And would John be able to join us via Zoom in those?
Yeah, we could set something up where John could participate. Yeah, he's not willing to do in person just yet, and I understand. A larger room, even if we were able to spread apart and be a little bit separate, but I can definitely check on a room for May the 1st.
I like that idea. It would be fun to get together again in person.
Definitely.
Agreed. Thanks, Vanita.
You're welcome. Would there be you still want to set an evening meeting, or would an earlier meeting help people? Or, I mean, you can think about it and let me know. We've got plenty of time to plan it, but I'd like to try to block off a room fairly early if we can.
I mean,
Yeah,
I would be able to start a little bit earlier, but I don't know if everyone has different types of schedules, so.
Yeah.
How early could people start? I'm willing to take the school day off. We could start really early.
May 1st, there wasn't any special early release, whatever, no school or half day. No, not on the public school agenda. No.
I will take the day off. I will do an early release. I don't know. Do we want to do like a 3 o'clock? Might be fun. I don't know. 4? I don't know.
Oh, I could do it in the morning, but not after 5.
Otherwise,
What did you say, Jamal? You're muted.
Oh, Jamal?
Said I'm pretty free the 1st, so if it has to be early.
Maybe like 4. Yeah, 4 o'clock sounds nice. Or 3 or 4, whatever you guys want to do. I'm flexible.
Me too.
I would rather switch to the morning.
Yeah, the morning session is better for me.
Okay. What time,
Like 9:30 to 12:30.
Okay.
How about 10? I like
10 to 12? Yes.
Do we need more than 2 hours?
Yeah, normally, right?
Think we need more than 2 hours? I don't know. Just posing the question.
We've taken up to 3 or 4 hours, but I don't think we need to. I think our window of productivity, right? Window of productivity, probably
okay.
2,
10 to noon.
Oh, is there a parking place? I mean, in the downtown area, normally it's very difficult to park.
Good point.
If we're going to City Hall, there's the parking structure on Washington, and 4th is probably the closest structure. But there's also like metered spots around City Hall.
The community. Okay. All right.
Yeah, and those have a 2-hour max, so you'd have enough time for a 2-hour meeting.
Sure, that's right.
So we could
Even
do
more reason.
We could do our 2-hour meeting till 12 and then put more money in the meter and then go to lunch. Carytown for people that want to do that.
I like how you're thinking, Peggy.
Day of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'll
So
put it down
can
on my
Vanita
calendar.
put that onto our agenda, calendar, whatever? Google.
Let me check locations here in City Hall and check.
Oh, yeah.
And then get back to everybody.
That's right. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Oh, almost we are running short of time. We have to carry on. So the next thing on the old business is City Flag Project update. So the panel of judges met to determine the finalists. These finalists will be revealed late March of 2024. The public input phase will take place after this review, with the judges reconvening to weigh the public feedback and select a finalist to present to City Hall. Yeah, there's nothing we should do about, right? So it's basically the finalists will be.
No, but I would like to just kind of add, Vanita, and I don't want this to come across negatively. I guess there's no other way to say it. This project is really dragged on. And I guess I'm only aware of it because many of my students entered and they every week ask me. And I think we started fall. And so it just seems like when we have contests and things like this, and I know it's not us, but it would be nice if it could move a little faster.
It will be done.
Peggy.
If I may.
I also want to say that I have a concern, which they can do whatever process they want, but the last time we had something where there were finalists that went out to public and the public felt like they were voting, and that then the piece that was picked wasn't the one the public picked. Many of you know what I'm talking about. It was not received very well. So I think they should be very conscious about how they're putting it out to the public and how they're expecting the public to provide feedback, that their feedback is just feedback. It is not a voting process. If they ultimately are just going to pick whatever they want, they should just be aware of that.
Okay, Nancy, Sophie, please.
Yeah, I think the advice was, and I don't know whether this filtered down to the end of it, that we should, or the judges should pick as the finalists 3 that they would be equally happy to have win, so that the public would be picking between acceptable and delightful and wonderful choices. I mean, I hope there were at least 3. I'm sure there would have been, but that was the suggestion, and I think it was somebody else who'd had a flag contest at some point was suggesting this, and I can't remember how it manifested as an idea, but I know we did discuss it early on when we were talking about the project. So hopefully that is going to be how it works, but I don't know.
Yeah, I appreciate the input and the updates from everybody. It has been a longer process for sure than anticipated. We've got a small team working on it, and schedules for everybody initially just to go through all 300 projects took quite a bit of time, and mayor's involved, and we've got the city clerk involved as well, and some other staff members. So we're getting together as frequently as we can, and we're on our last section here. We're waiting to find an illustrator who can actually look at the set of finals that we have to make some minor edits to some of the drawings and send them back out. So we're doing a little bit of work behind the scenes just to make sure we're putting out the best options that we can for folks to select from.
Right. Okay.
Maybe Krista, who was just on our call.
Maybe she what? Say, Mary?
Maybe she could be the illustrator if you're looking for one.
Yeah,
Just
we need
seems
a
like she's
graphic designer, really, don't we, rather than an illustrator, because the illustrator.
Oh, okay.
Got you can kind of clean it up and make sure it looks a bit more flaggy if it's kind of a rough drawing.
And we wanted that kind of came a little bit later, wasn't something that I was aware of that needed to happen. But been told that if we have that done as part of our initial process, it's something that won't have to happen later when the final is actually chosen and goes for printing and all of those things.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Thanks for the update.
You're welcome.
Okay, now the next thing will be the new business. Invitation, the City of Ann Arbor's Downtown Development Authority, DDA, and Planning and Transportation Department invite you to public workshops on 3 planning efforts. So this is just announcement, right? Ann Arbor Comprehensive Plan, Downtown Area Circulation Plan, DDA Development, and TIF Plan. Those are the coming workshop times. So I assume these are the invitations we can be participating, right? If we have the time.
Yes.
Is that right, Vanita? Yes. So just take a look and you can circle back and let Vanita know if you are able to attend those 1 or 2 or all the 4 workshops. So there's also the contact information.
If anyone's able to go and be the squeaky wheel for public art.
Capital projects. Oh, Sophie, please.
I'm just wondering if there's a link or somewhere that people can go in case anyone's watching this would be interested in going to the DDA's planning open meetings.
Yeah.
I can look at the original invitation, Sophie, and see if I have a link. I think this actually just as an email from the DDA out to everybody, but I can check to see if there may be something on their website.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
I put it next week, the 12th, 13th, 14th.
So they're looking for public input for projects. Is that basically what is the DDA doing?
I believe it's public input for the redesign of the downtown business area.
Oh,
right? Changing it.
changing it how?
That's what the committee's going to decide.
Okay, sounds epic.
I don't really know. I saw the ad I saw for it. They had, you know how during COVID they had parts of Liberty blocked off so you could have more outdoor dining, and I don't know.
Gotcha. Okay.
Those types of things, I think. I know, yeah. I know on Main Street there's a sign for it in one of the planter boxes because I saw it today, but you know, sometimes you just don't want to add one more meeting to your agenda, but it does sound interesting.
Is anybody planning on attending one of these meetings, or are they all the same, or are they it seems like the Public Art Commission should represent.
Yeah, it wasn't
potentially.
the same. Doesn't look like the same. The time was different.
I think they just had the 3 dates.
So open house and kickoff. Okay. Public open
they have
house.
3 different dates, and then we have the wrap up. So I'm assuming that the wrap up comes after they've had all the input from other meetings. So that's different.
Well, I'll try and attend some of one.
Thanks, Mary. And I don't even know where are they at. Does anyone know the meetings? Where are they being held?
The district, Ann Arbor District Library.
The library. That's right. I did read that. Okay.
Okay. So as we go along, maybe we are better clear about our schedule in the next week. We'll see how much we can get our AAPAC committee member to go to those public open houses. Okay, the next thing is a report from staff.
I'm sorry, I think that's a duplicate.
Yeah, that's what I assume. It's the same. Okay, thank you. Next, report from our committees. Do we have any special, projects to report? Yes, please, Sophie.
Me again. Well, at the previous meeting, at the last meeting, I was talking about trying to organize a poetry project, but I've been told that we don't organize things. We merely encourage other people to organize things. So I'm realized that I'm not going to be able to do that. So I don't know whether I was put in touch by the library with, well, I wasn't put in touch. I was told to get in touch with a poet who does something very similar in Ann Arbor, but after several emails, I haven't had any response. So I need to see if I can find another way to reach her or reach some other poets and see if somebody might be able to move that idea along.
Thank you for the update, Sophie, please. Okay. Any other committee, subcommittee? Oh, Allison, how is it going with the student who wants to do the social media for our? Not much.
I talked to him. He didn't really know much about social media. He wasn't a social media user himself. After I gave him the overview of the project, I said, let me know if it's of interest, and he never got back to me.
Oh,
really
okay.
Feel like
actually, there's another student. Yeah, there's another student who is also interested.
Okay.
And yeah, maybe I could put him in touch with you.
Sure, happy to talk to someone else. I don't think that
I didn't know
work
how
out.
far the first one is going. Okay, I will put Chris, I think his name Warley, so in touch with you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Any other members to report on your committees? I heard last time when I was talking with Vanita, and like Vanita has addressed before during this session, she was thinking maybe next meeting, during our planning meeting, we should, write ahead of time what we are looking forward to do and how far we are finishing our current projects, so we can have, a list of things on our agenda to talk before we get to the in-person meeting in May. Yeah,
That makes sense.
Yeah, that will prepare us.
Yeah,
Yes.
it'll be fine. If you start to send
So
me
we
things,
could,
I can create a list and create an agenda
Yeah.
for everybody.
Yes, that's great. Okay, do we have any special presentation for tonight?
No.
Jamal, can you report? You had a lot of events going on, right, last month. So can you report on something exciting?
I had a lot of events.
Yes.
Well,
The Jones School documentary, that
yeah,
was
okay.
amazing.
That's a
Yeah,
big deal.
yeah. Well, I guess I could talk about that. So I know I talked about, probably started talking about it a year ago, or over a year. But the Jones School documentary is now on the Ann Arbor District Library website. Anybody can view it. Getting great feedback. I played a minor role in helping pull that together. It came out great. And yeah, it kind of just tells the story of what is now community high school and the history of Black families in that area of downtown Ann Arbor, and getting pushed out. And it's a great way to remind some communities about our history in this community. And yeah, I think it turned out great. So I don't really know what there's a idea of making it broader to the broader community outside of this area, but I'll find out, I guess.
It was
So-
amazing. I was there, Sophie was there, we sat by each other, and even just to think back on it, like right now, it just kind of gives me chills, just because there were so many things. And I grew up in this town, and I was around during that time. I was in elementary school, but yeah, it was just really eye-opening. So great, and it was very well done. Loved it.
I was amazed. I mean, one of my sons went to community high school, and I had no idea about the history whatsoever, and I don't think he did either. And the press of people trying to get in to see that movie was quite impressive, and people were lots and lots of people were turned away, couldn't get in to see the film. And I'm so glad that I was able to, because it was really, really well made, very gripping, right from the whole thing. So I thought it was a very impressive piece of documentary, very very well made and very interesting. And as I say, a history that, I mean, Peggy doesn't know, and she lived here. I don't know, and my kid went to that school. So I mean, probably it's been hidden till now. So really, congratulations to everyone for bringing that to the surface.
Yeah, thank you for the report. Cynthia has something to let us
Yeah,
know.
I just wanted to piggyback on what Jamal said. And
Yes.
basically Jamal mentioned that it reminded people. What I wanted to say was it educated people, because a lot of individuals didn't know. So, I mean, I just looking around the room, I was way in the front, but looking my right, looking my left, and behind me, there were a lot of surprised looks. So I'm gonna venture to say that a good portion of the room did not know. I'm gonna say a good portion of the community does not know. I've been really trying to promote it. And it was very well done. Music, great. It was really great. So it's AnnArbor200.org.
Yeah, I wish they'd do another public showing of it too.
Yeah.
I was going to talk to them. I'm planning on talking with AADL about that. I think it was in a smaller room. I mean, there was something else going on in the main room, but I think it would be worth having another viewing. I think the discussion after the viewing was really, really good. And that's why it's good for people to be able to, log on and watch it. But I think having another showing and another public discussion afterwards is warranted.
Yeah,
So
I would guess they would.
Yeah.
I can't confirm that, but since I missed it, I would actually like to be there
Yeah.
for another viewing as well.
For people who didn't see it, I think as an educator, what was really appalling to me was the way we went about desegregating the schools. And I never figured out exactly what the 7 schools were where the students were all shipped off to, but these kids were just put on buses and sent. And then it was interesting to hear the adults who were those children back then say how terrifying that was and how unaccepted they were at those schools. And I don't know, it just made me wishing that we could have done that better.
it was
Wow.
terrible. Yeah.
Terrible.
Like she said, the students at the schools that they were sent to weren't prepared for that.
Nope.
Right.
The teachers either.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to see this
Terrible.
this film to be screened to the
Well, you can-
students at Pioneer High School.
Oh, yeah.
It was just a note sent out from the principal this afternoon that there was some event in between the students. Some students have this racial discrimination, verbiage, whatever. So might be a good educational film for the school, right?
Yeah, I'm glad that the Ann Arbor District Library has it available to anyone who wants to watch it whenever they want. So thank you, Jamal, for sharing that link. I went and watched it immediately because I had missed the event. I mean, I wonder if it could be at a bigger screening like Michigan Theater somewhere, take it big.
Yeah, it was at Michigan, but unfortunately the main screen was the main stage was being occupied.
Oh,
right. The films, that's why it's coming on. Yeah.
The busing thing was such a disaster for lots of people, and if they just made the school be really well resourced, then it would have integrated itself. You don't have to move anybody; they would vote with their feet. So.
And we're still seeing the ripple effects in 2024 in our neighborhoods and in our schools.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a wonderful meeting, and we have settled so many things to discuss. And Peggy, you still have something?
I just want to add one more thing. I have to do this as an art educator. March is Youth Art Month. And again, the Ann Arbor Public Schools art teachers have partnered with the downtown businesses, and we have art downtown. So if you're downtown, check it out. We've also added something new this year. On the corner of Main and Liberty, we have an arts installation of 200 yardsticks that have been painted by students from various schools. And the 200 represents our bicentennial. And so, so that's a new colorful addition to the corner there. So check out the art if you get downtown. It's actually this year, it's going to stay up through April 8th because we want to partner with the Festival celebration, which is happening again that first weekend in April. We figure people will be down. We might as well promote the arts. So check it out.
Yes. Thank you for all these updates. And do we have an agreement to adjourn? To call adjourn? And we'll look for, thank you.
One more thing, I just wanted to invite everyone to the Argus Photography Museum on West William, where I have a photo exhibition with 2 other artists, and it's open on office hours. So do drop in and have a look.
What's that called again, Benita?
Tales Told in Brick and Stone. And there's a Ukrainian artist, Ukrainian photographer, and me and one other artist who've all done.
And where's the gallery?
Photography about buildings and the resonance of empty buildings mainly.
It's in the Argus Museum on the corner of William and 4th.
Got it. Okay.
4th Street,
you.
not 4th Ave.
That's straight.
Okay, great.
I'll be sending out a text to the leadership committee. I think we should get together before the
annual
before,
planning.
before the annual. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I don't remember what
I
other
look
committees
forward.
I'm on. I'm really terribly sorry. Maybe we could share that out, and I'm happy to meet with anybody that wants to.
Well, and we can reassign at the next meeting, at the planning meeting, so get assigned then. Because we might change what committees we have even at that point, so.
Who knows?
Fantastic. Good to see you all. You're
Yeah,
beautiful.
great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's
All right.
call it adjourned and
Well,
look forward
okay.
to seeing you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.